YouTube, and welcome to the grind. My name is Cryptic, and today I will begin preparation for Diablo 2 Resurrected, which means over the next couple months I'm going to be releasing videos of guides on builds, tutorials, on low level, skill distribution, attribute distribution, low level gear, where can you find this gear, what gear should you pick up, what quests you should do, what quests you should skip, everything in between. So stay tuned for that, guys. And if you have anything you want to see, any questions about Diablo 2 Resurrected coming up, just leave a comment down below and I'll be happy to make a guide on it or cover it. With that being said, let's get started. Alright guys, I'm playing the Sorceress, as you can see. She's going to be the #1 class for you guys when you start Diablo 2 Resurrected. And that's because she has teleport, and her cult skills are awesome. They're very strong, and they will help you farm and get through things very quickly all the way up until endgame. Very viable for farming even in endgame. There's not a lot of things that resist cold, and the things that do resist cold, you're going to be able to get through it pretty quickly. Unfortunately, a lightning sword is not going to be as good. She's a lot more expensive, and we'll dive into that a little bit later. A fire sword is a no-go. She's just not super viable for PvM endgame, but she's great for PvP, and we'll be showing a guide on that in the future as well. Now, when it comes to skill distribution with your sorceress at a low level, you're going to want to grab frozen armor. You're going to want to grab teleport and energy shield. Energy shield is going to be really nice for absorbing some damage, and frozen armor is good for extra defense. Blizzard's going to be your boss killer. At a low level, you're only going to want to put 1 point into Blizzard. That's because the more points we put into it, the more mana it costs, the harder it is to upkeep our mana, and just a couple points into Frozen Orb as well to clear those crowds out. I have a lot of points into Ice Blast, as you can see. It'd be smarter if I put my points into Ice Bolt, because Ice Bolt benefits Blizzard and it benefits Frozen Orb. But I have it in Ice Blast because I can cast Blizzard and then cast Ice Blast during the cooldown, because Ice Blast does a lot of damage, as you can see. When we look here, Frozen Orb is 71 to 78, Ice Blast is 177, 191, and then Blizzard's 148 to 202. The Blizzard and Ice Blast combo is extremely strong together. And every point I put into Ice Blast, it gives me damage to Blizzard without affecting that mana. So that's just the best way to go at a low level. Now you can see that I am level 48 here, and I have 25 skill points remaining. I put in about 23 skill points, and I still have a lot of attributes remaining, so I put in about 23 levels worth of skills and attributes. You can see my life is only 141, my mana is not super high, and neither is my defense. So you can see my average chance Diablo is going to hit me is 76%. I don't have a lot of defense. I just have a decent amount of damage. 148 to 202 is nothing crazy, but this is kind of a good base area for you guys when farming Diablo 2. Now, my items here, you can see that I don't have any helmet, any body armor, or any rings. I just have a sword, shield, gloves, belt, boot, and amulet, and the shield that I have is a spirit rune word, which you should be able to farm quite easily while you are progressing. The Talthul or an Almond rune should be quite accessible to you guys while you're getting through the normal difficulty. By the time you reach Act 5, hopefully you found a superior crystal sword, or just a normal crystal sword works, and then you'll socket it. Once you complete the first quest in Act 5, it'll then have 4 sockets, and you'll insert the runes in this order, giving you this rune word that you guys can carry all the way until hell. It's a great weapon. 2 to all skills, faster cast rate, faster hit recovery, vitality and mana, magic absorb, and defense versus missiles, which is very important, and it adds a little bit of cold damage to our skills. These gloves are great. Regenerate mana at 25%, faster cast rate. These gloves will probably be expensive if you guys can't find them in Resurrected, because these are gloves that can be used endgame. But there's something to keep an eye out for. Extremely good gloves. This belt is just on me because it has resistances and I need some room for some potions while killing Diablo here. Silkweave boots. These boots are great for low leveling. Gives us more defense versus those missiles so we can stay away from monsters and survive. Increased mana. Mana after kill. Quite important. Just good overall boots at a low level at 36. These boots can help you get a good ways in the game before transitioning over these War Travelers that I have right here, which hopefully you guys will be able to find those as well. Wall of the Eyeless, good shield, faster cast rate, poison resist, mana after kill, some defense. It's a nice overall shield at a low level, especially just being level 20. There are other alternatives with rune words and other uniques that I will showcase you guys later. And then this very important amulet, 50% fire res, 10% max fire resistance, Nokazan Relic. It's just a really good amulet. It has some faster hit recovery as well. And with our sword combined with it, it's just a really nice combination of faster hit recovery at this low level. Thing to note with that 10% max fire res, it doesn't apply because I only have 50 fire resistance from the amulet. If I was at 75 fire resist, which is the max, then that 10% would be added onto it and I would have 85%. Now when it comes to our attributes, I don't have a lot spent, as you can see. And soft core vitality doesn't really matter, but you want to have enough into dexterity and strength for gear. You can see I have 65 strength. These boots are 65 strength required, so I just have enough strength for the gear that I am currently wearing. And then the rest would go into energy, but I'm not going to put in those points for my attributes or my skills because I want to showcase you guys a sorceress that's about level 30-ish that can handle Diablo, which when you guys are playing through the game, level 40 should be about the level that you're at. You reach Diablo. I'm going to show you guys a run with this gear here, and how it works, and how the mechanics work of being able to get through the Chaos Sanctuary timely, and farming it properly. And then I will show you guys a little bit better gear when you're getting towards the end of normal, and a Mercenary with Insight. And as you saw, my mana stopped right there, right in the middle of a crowd where they hit me. Having a Mercenary with a low-level Insight is going to be very important. That is a rune word, and I will showcase that to you guys right after I do this run with another run with updated gear. The tactic here is to stay away from the crowds, just kind of cast your orb, teleport around, keep your distance, and cast. This should help to clear it out pretty quickly. Now Diablo's going to be kind of a pain, and he can kill us if we are not careful. The reason we have an amulet is to survive some of his bigger attacks. If there is an attack that he does that is just really hard to counter, and it's all about your movements. See, everything's kind of dying. What's really nice about a cold sword is everything gets slowed, and so it's a lot harder to get hits. It kind of adds a little bit of extra defense. That's how I like to look at it. When things are slowed, it's a little bit more defense for me because it's less chance of them hitting me. And it's just kind of nice. You can see we're getting through these crowds pretty easily. It's only having 2 points into Frozen Orb, and it's doing pretty good damage, only at 71 damage orb. I'm gonna put a little bit into my inventory here so I can access this a little easier. Doing all that fun stuff. Grab some potions. And there's dead.
I am overburdened.
So we got a unique. That. I'll grab that later. Now, when Diablo is getting spawned in, it's good to use Blizzard and preemptively cast it here. When he spawns in, he'll get picked by it, which is going to be nice. I'm going to cast one more, and I'm going to start doing this, so he gets hit with a lot of damage to start. I'll spam this as much as I can. before he gets crazy with me. You can see I'm doing a lot of damage here. And that ring is what we just survived because we have... Yep. Now, if we didn't have the amulet, we would die to that, and that attack right there is something very deadly, and we want to be very careful for that. Watch out for that attack. That is no joke. It's all about just weaving around him. You can see we've done quite a bit of damage. That Ice Blast is really strong. And just like that, Diablo's dead. As you saw, it was pretty straightforward. Mage Fist, Spirit Sword, just a simple belt, silkweave boots, Wall of the Eyeless, and this amulet that helped me survive from the Ring of Fire that he shot out, which is a huge AoE and does quite a bit of damage without this amulet. But this gear should be quite accessible to you guys, and you should be able to get this gear alternatively through other things that help you get cast rate, mana regen, and some fire resistances. So you can definitely achieve these kind of stats through other gear when farming Diablo. Again, I had a lot of points into Ice Blast, but 11 points, and then only 2 points into Blizzard and Frozen Orb, and I was able to clear all those monsters and kill Diablo in a pretty timely fashion with mana struggles. Now I'm going to showcase to you guys what it's like to have a Mercenary with Insight and different gear on. So the Mercenary with Insight right here, this is a low-level Insight, required level is 27. The key thing with this weapon is that we get level 16 Meditation Aura when it's equipped. You can see it on your Mercenary when he's walking around. He just got some random gear on that's not really needed. The weapon's the big thing, and that's going to help me with my mana issues moving forward. I'm going to put on a Peasant Crown. I'm going to put on this Oculus. Now the Oculus gives me 3 to Sorceress skills, so I get an extra skill on top of that previous weapon I was using. Faster cast rate's about the same, vitality and energy is about the same, but the key thing with this is I get 20 extra resistances, mana after kill, and who doesn't like Magic Find? Really nice to have on my weapon. An overall better weapon than the Spirit or the Sorceress, so if you guys can find this while leveling up through the game, that'll be really key, and you can get this drop from Diablo and Bale in normal farming. Peasant Crown you can as well. 1 to all skills, a little bit faster run, walk, excuse me, and then vitality and energy, also very nice to have. There is another rune word that is an alternative. I can showcase that to you guys a little bit later. And I'm going to be running a Ravenfrost ring on as well. Cold absorb, can't be frozen, some mana, some added cold damage. It's really nice to have, and this is a ring that can be used endgame as well. It's a little bit different gear this time. Kind of the same. I now have him with Insight on for that, so I will showcase to you guys a Diablo run with this kind of gear now. Alright, now that we're in a new game, we can get started. I'm going to buy up my potions. I don't need as many mana potions, so as you saw before I had both these slots taken up, but I'm only going to use 1, and then the rest is just going to be life, make sure that I don't die. Getting through the Chaos Sanctuary should be way easier. You can see my mana is still up and I am still teleporting right through. Didn't have as many struggles this time. Things are dying a little bit easier. It's a lot quicker to get through the Chaos Sanctuary with just this small adjustment in gear. I don't even need to grab potions or really pay much attention to it. You can see my mana is no longer an issue because of this low level Insight. And I am just cruising right now through the Chaos Sanctuary with this upgraded gear. And I only upgraded 3 items and got my Mercenary with Insight, which should all be able to be obtainable. By the time we go into Nightmare, this gear shouldn't be too hard to achieve. or variants of it at the time you were making. And now Diablo should be ready to be killed. Still no mana issues. I'm gonna repop these abilities.
Not even death can
Going to cast our Storm. Cast one more. Get this ready. We're doing damage. Mercenaries on top of them. And this time Diablo is dead much quicker. Ice Blast is just so good with Blizzard when you are on top of a boss. And again, we didn't use too crazy of gear, guys. This is gear that you guys can find and you can use. The Raven Frost may be a little excessive, maybe a little harder to find. But it didn't contribute a lot to me killing things. Yes, the cold damage is nice, but it didn't really do much besides that. The Oculus is a really good weapon, but you can see that I really picked up everything. Now, I'm sure you guys are really curious about this insight. A Rao, Tier, Tal, and Soul Rune. Those runes should be pretty accessible. The Soul Rune is the highest one there at level 27, but you only need a 4-socket polearm, really anyone that works, and then you throw those runes in and it creates insight. You put that on your Mercenary, and that is just the best way to do it. You guys are probably wondering what Mercenary you guys should grab and hire.
Good day.
In normal and hell, the passives that your combat, offensive, and defensive mercenaries can have are the same. In Nightmare, your best bet would be a defensive mercenary from Act 2, which gives you Holy Freeze. I am using a combat one from Normal, which gives me Prayer. And Prayer gives you mana regen. Now, if you want to know where you can get that polearm and that crystal sword, you can get it from farming in the Tombs and Canyon of the Magi. And you can easily farm it, probably in Travancore in Act 3. I don't have any of the waypoints right now, but those are some areas where you can probably find those weapons during some cases. Now, I'm sure you guys are curious if I can kill Bale with this gear that you just saw when I killed Diablo. It's all the same gear. Now, you can achieve this gear through alternatives. When I say alternatives, I mean rare gear, other unique rune words even that are in the game. And we'll go over rune words that are good for lower leveling in another video, which will be coming out in just a couple days, so stay tuned for that. But this gear is not, anything crazy. This isn't gear that's just absolutely out of the ordinary, that's just making me super overpowered at this level and I can just run through Bale and Diablo like it's nothing. This is all gear that you guys can find, and you guys can find alternatives to it through rare gear and rune words and other things like that. And some of this gear should be able to be found by you guys when you are walking through the game. Really the same strategy as Diablo, just cycling around Bale. Now my Mercenary is dead. I am going to go back to town and revive him. Like I showed you guys before, he doesn't have any crazy good gear on. He just has that insight.
Yes, warrior.
I'll show you guys again. Basic armor, and then he's got the insight. That's really the bread and butter of your Mercenary, is that insight. We do want to upgrade his gear eventually. A basic gear like that is good enough at this level. And Bale's dead.
I am overburdened.
And just like that, guys, we get right through.
I can't carry it.
What's this?
I can't use
Look at
this.
that. Might be able to have some armor after this. And just like that, guys, you get right through Bale. This is kind of the basic equipment, basic gear, showing you guys what it is. Really easy. You just got to get some alternatives to it. There are plenty of them, and this should help you guys when Diablo 2 Resurrected comes out to quickly farm Diablo and quickly farm Bale, so you guys can get lots of gear, level up, and move on to Nightmare and Hell, and properly farm equipment for other characters in the game that you want to play. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Over the next couple months here, I'll be releasing lots of videos on guides and tips and tricks in Diablo 2. In the next couple days, I'll be releasing a Nightmare version of this build, and then the Hell version of this build shortly after. And then I'll be transitioning this build over to a Lightning Sorceress, so stay tuned for that, guys. And then we'll be making a Hammered In, we'll be making a Trap Sin, and all sorts of other characters. And along the way, we'll be doing guides as well. So if you want to see anything specific, guys, you have any questions about Diablo 2 Resurrected or Diablo 2 tips, tricks, or guides, or really anything that you want to see, just leave it in the comments and I will cover it. Thank you guys for joining me today, and remember to grind on.